When last we left off with veins like tapeworms, Demian was not having a good time. They were being essentially exploited by a motel owner to basically get more work out of them than what should be required of them. And, we somehow now have an eldritch parasite just chilling out in our body. So there's that. They are both doppelganger as well as just hanging out in our brain. They speak to us in our thoughts. My cat opened the door. Ugh. So now we're gonna see how we live life with a parasite hanging out. And also, if I sound tired, it's because I am. Reiterating for the YouTube folk. For like the 2 people who watch the VODs. The familiar screeching of the train's brakes fills their ears, and Demian bites back the urge to step onto the tracks. Content warning. Child abuse. Demian finds himself slipping back to the verbal abuse their mother and father inflicted upon them. Though the text is graphic and in-depth, there are no visuals to accompany it. One line they remember implies the sexualization of a young teenager. Oh no. Transphobia mentioned. Demian has a throwaway thought about security cameras and how they'd only be useful if someone decided to attack them for their androgyny. This thought is not expanded upon, nor does it come to fruition. There's no visuals to accompany this. Wow, I hate this already. Demian glares at the security camera mounted in a conspicuous spot. They've never been a fan of that thing. Sure, it can probably turn the tides in their favor. Some jackass decided to get weird about it and jumped up for not looking perfectly like a man or a woman, but that's a once-in-a-lifetime scenario. Any other day, though? Just another way the creeps running Kingsfield can keep tabs on the citizens. Just relax. Will be over momentarily. Tell that to these dipshits. It's midnight on a school day. Does no one have a car? You don't. Shut up. I'm different. Well, no one ever said the metro was a perfect alternative. A man's shoulder brushes past Demian's face, and the feeling makes him shudder. The cheek where skin contact muddy nylon might well be painted a bright, obnoxious red. It's all Demian can focus on now. The cramped tin can of the train reeks of sweat. Demian sure is glad they have a mask on. It filters the stench just enough to keep them from vomiting. I'm gonna lose my shit at this point. Swear to God I will. Do it. You know you want to. How about we not Eldritch being in our head? It'll be fun. Freeing. No. Look at those bozos over there. They realize Slyce doesn't have eyes to see with, independent of their own. Demian drags her gaze to the objects of their disgust. Ma would be about the same age as this woman here, they think. Maybe she had her kid late, or Demian's mom had them early. The daughter, maybe 11 or 12, keeps one hand on a pole in the middle of the floor. Probably to keep herself from falling flat on her face as she chatters away about a whole bunch of abstract nothing. Demian can't help but sneer. The pair look happy. Too happy. They used to have moments like this with their own mother, coming home late at night from whatever extracurricular she signed them up for. She wasn't nearly as kind, though. Stand up straight, she'd hiss in their ear through clenched teeth. And get your hand off that pole. It's Jeremy. People will look at you and think I'm raising a stripper. You're embarrassing me. The kid's first bully is always their mom, Demian used to say. You hold deep resentment towards your mother. Do you not? Yeah, she wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. I'm the typical abused kid, man. Dad always the villain, mom fucked me up 6 ways to Sunday, but in a subtle way that makes me sound crazy if I talk about it. Blah, blah, blah. Everyone knows the dynamic. Yes. The subtlety of, they did enough to care for you, but not enough to actually care for you. Crazy. Yet the anger is directed at the humans before you. Why does your rage turn towards those who have never held the weapon against your heart? It's just how I deal with things. You look at others who have what you don't, and it hurts. So it ends up directed at them because they make you think about it. It's misplaced. It doesn't look like you're coping very well. Demian isn't. Demian tries to ignore the buzzing in their skull. But a fly in the ear can only be drowned out for so long. Eventually they'll have to indulge it, one way or the other. You don't have to let the anger go starved forever. There is always a way to cut yourself free. Free from the ties of envy. Buzz off about it, I'll get it. Or I'll get caught. You know what to do. Oh wait, that's the parasite still. You know what to do. It's churned in your mind. Ever since you saw them, you'd feel better letting some steam off. Don't you think? Yeah. It's not your fault they have what you can never own. Doesn't it make you just hate them? Stop it. Don't pretend to be holier than thou. You want to do it. No one would see. They won't stop you. Those cameras would do nothing. It would make you happy. Take your first step to freedom. Demian shoots another look at the camera mounted in the corner. If they play their cards right, they can cut loose right when the train screeches to a stop and opens the doors. The crowd would be a veil of anonymity for Demian. No one would know it was them. You know you want to. The taste of freedom won't ruin your palate. How about we not hurt people? Like, let's not. We don't know them, they don't know us, and that just kind of a dick move. No, hands to yourself. Let's just think about it for a while. Come on, Zhao. Breathing exercises. Deep breath. Suck up all that anger into one big ball in their lungs. Hang on. Even through the cloth mask, the train smells like rancid peanut oil. Ew. It smells like a Long John Silver's. Pinky Lady Apple Slices also work as a stylist, but I prefer the banana. Good to know. Thank you for the update. It's so thick that the stench could be a film that coats their innards. That's right. You can do it. Deep breaths. We can remain sane. Hold it in, wait 3 seconds, and puff it all out like a big drag of a cigarette. Anger management is an essential life skill Demi needs to learn one day. What better way to practice it than with letting go of a petty, meaningless squabble that consists entirely of a straw man Demi made up in their head? You'll exhaust yourself of it one day, always holding yourself back, never getting to be happy. One step will lead to another, but you can't even take that first breath. Come on, man. What would that even achieve? What would be the point? Just leave them alone. It's not like they're even doing anything to Demian. They just literally exist. Demian closes their eyes and breathes deep. It's not easy to block Slyce out when it's not easy to block Slyce out when its mind resonates with theirs, but with a little bit of effort they can almost ignore it. Besides, its voice is muddled at best. Slyce's thoughts get lost in the stew of their own brain whenever Demian really has to sit down and think. If they let the internal storm brew into a loud enough frenzy, they can drown it out for a good while. An exhausted air hangs over the crowd, the mother and daughter included. Frankly, Demian still can't believe those two are even on this train. What the hell is a kid doing in frat boy vacation town in the middle of the night on a train to who knows where? Whatever, the kid's talking about, it doesn't seem to answer that question. Ah. What's that in her hand? Their focus turns towards the kid again. She's lugging a large black case around, slinging it over her shoulder with a makeshift strap. Seems like something to carry an instrument with. Stringed, maybe? If Demian had to guess, it would be something like the violin. Never played it myself. I was a guitar guy, you know? Yet your family hated it. Look, it was either let the kid drop ballet, or deal with the ramifications of the kid biting their instructor again. My mom just figured out the hit to her reputation wasn't worth it. Demian is not proud of how they got out of dance classes, but they were desperate. I mean, honestly, I don't blame them. Because, like, if you don't want to do something, you shouldn't be forced to do something, you know? Coffee. Especially when you're, like, a young kid. Demian thinks, if they were in a similar situation now, they'd at least try to talk it through before resorting to biting. After a few seconds, Demian lets their shoulders slump and their pent-up rage dissipate. It's not like those two deserve it anyway. Why take out their anger on them, just for the sin of reminding Demian of their rotten family? Yeah, exactly, it's not their fault. It just wouldn't be fair. Demian likes to think they aren't too much of a monster, thank you very much. That's it, there you go. The train's brakes screech against the tracks. The sound of steel grinding on steel is nothing compared to the thoughts running through their head. The deceleration makes everyone jolt, leaning into the stolen momentum. You could do it now. Let yourself be lost in the crowd. And give in. No one will see. Will you fuck off with that? Leave me alone. The door opens. Or the door open. Oh, the door's... Anyway, it opens and the crowd pushes forward. Demian lets himself get swept up in the flow, severing the thread Slyce had been so desperately trying to build. Oh, thank you. I forgot the little burbs. Hold on. We'll get them going. And I do need to set a timer. Where the fuck is my phone? You just have Slyce whispering in our ears momentarily while I sort that. We've been going maybe 10 minutes, if that, so we'll do like 120. Thank you, Rex, for the reminders. It's for the best anyway. Yay, I mean, no worries. Demian. Stop it. I'll feed you, alright? But we're going to the store. The store. We're not gonna take a bite out of someone. At least not out of someone that doesn't deserve it. If we want to eat Carl, though, I'm all for that. The quick stop shop's always got the freshest stuff on Wednesdays. It's usually when the deliveries come in. The slimy fish hopped right out of the wriggling sea and into the barrels just a day or two ago, probably. Demian doesn't really time their grocery runs to these deliveries, but it is nice when they can go in on a Wednesday. Not nauseating. Deep cravings within. Must consume. Well, I'm sorry, Slyce, but I tend to puke when I eat seafood. A delicacy to me. Good for you, then. Unfortunately, I like keeping my dinner in my stomach. Hi, Miriam. Hey, how's it going? Miriam's warm smile feels like it should be directed towards someone else. They raise their hand in a slight wave. The usual, I guess. How's Juice doing? Flip-Flop the cat. How's the cat? Sorry, I'm tired. Give me a good reason to be. They used to think those satire pieces about needing to go to work while transforming into a monstrosity was just that. Satire. The past few weeks proved them completely wrong. Oh, he's fine. He's just hiding out in the break room right now. Luna thought he would do better in the quiet, so she moved his bed there. They shoved their face into the ramen shelf to hide their yearning. Aw, that's nice. Aww. Demian's shopping haul today was about the same as usual. Ramen, TV dinners, the norm. It's a bit hard to deviate from the norm when their budget is so tight, but can you blame a guy for scrimping and pinching at the food bill to get out of Kingsfield Beach? Nope. Miriam rounds the corner and into the aisle Demian's hanging around in. She shuffles up closer to them until she stands right by their side. An uttered apology of needing to stock the shelf is whispered to them, but they have a feeling Miriam had clamored for any excuse to be here. It's not too bad, honestly. Demian stays out of her way, and she stays out of theirs. Her company could be nice if they were friends getting dinner at a restaurant, Demian thinks. If they had the money for that, and if they knew Miriam wouldn't think it's a date, they'd ask if she was down for it. Yeah, that is kind of the downside, isn't it? What kind of food does she like? They'd like to take her to a Chinese restaurant. Oh, fuck yeah. A good one, too, not just a hole in the wall for takeout. I mean, don't knock the hole in the walls. They got some of the best fucking food. They could share some Jisha roe and beef hot pot, and I probably butchered that. Hey, Miriam breaks the silence. Did something good happen? Hmm? You look really happy today. Do I usually look that miserable? You know how it is, they say with a shrug. She's nosy. Needs to know everything in your life. Don't be a dick. They shake their head and continue on. Work wasn't too bad today. No one left a big mess, and there wasn't a rush. Of course, that's an absolute lie. Late January marks the flood of people booking rooms for Valentine's Day. On top of that, someone took an actual human shit on the bedroom carpet, and Demian was the one who found it. Oh, that's fucking lovely. No, Demian is not going to get over it. I don't blame them for not. Maybe I should have gotten myself sick with it, or the corpse soup. If I got a bloodborne disease, I bet I could have sued Carl. I need a lawyer. I need lawyer money for that, though. Oh, an easy day. We haven't had that many drunks or criminals come in today personally. There's a tinge of relief in Miriam's voice. They don't blame her. Demian's had their fair share of drunkards. Make her leave. Cannot stand her. Leave her alone. Demian laughs. There's no humor behind it. It's just a bitter noise they make so they don't cry from the stress of it all. Yeah, I've had to throw a few out of the motel. Well, not just me. It'd be a group effort with a few of us, because the drunk people won't leave without a fight. Sometimes it's a verbal one, but most of them go down swinging. That made me chuckle. Wasting our time. Must feed. Slicey, slicey, buddy. I want a social life. Miriam covers her mouth with her free hand. The other one grips the cardboard box. Oh gosh, I've never had a fighter before. You've never gotten hurt by it, right? She only wants you in a way that sickens you. She's still nice, leave her be. Nothing Carl can't handwave away with a decent bonus. I've never even been hospitalized before, if that's what you mean. Thank God, too. I don't have health insurance. If I get a broken bone, I just have to set it myself and hope I don't get sepsis. Oh God. No, Zhao, you're ruining the mood again. Shit, sorry, that was a joke. They clench their teeth and turn their attention toward the frozen meals. I'll be fine. Really. Never even been bruised. I'd rather you didn't get hurt at all. Same here, but we can't all get what we want. That's why I take the little victories. Enough squabbling. Must feed now. Calm down, I'll feed you, don't worry. Look, I know what you want, but we gotta work within Damian's limits. And Demian, unfortunately, is broke as fuck. So you're just gonna have to deal with eating kid cuisine, alright? Hell, it's probably not even kid cuisine. It'll be like a banquet meal for $1.50. Although, in the current economy, it's probably more like $2. And I grab another bag of frozen vegetables. If they can't afford meat, they can at least get something that won't decay their guts in real time. That counts enough as a treat for their weird goo alien, right? No. I can't afford the meat you want. Does not cost as much as you say. Have you seen the price of beef and pork these days? And don't even think about buying fish. I would have gotten chicken thighs. Those are super cheap, but no. Someone's a whiny little piss baby who ate so much poultry in Dumpster Girl's body, so it's sick of that. Then return your poisons to make room. I'm not fucking starving myself just because you have caviar dreams. All that I eat is tasted and digested by you and I. Like hell I'm feeding you fish then. Demian shoves the rest of their food into the basket to ignore the growling that rolls through their bones. They can feel the whisper of Slyce's heartbeat, drumming against their innards as it slips through their skull and down their spine. The drunks are food. You know what? I would not be surprised. Someone is gonna end up food. I'm just hoping we get to pick who. It's not a painful feeling, but there's no way in hell it's comfortable. Most of the time it lies dormant in the center of their organs, but when it moves around, Demian has to remind themselves they had their appendix removed years ago. Well, at least I don't have to worry about that. See you, Webster, Demian calls out. Have a good night. Miriam waves goodbye. They thump out of the store just in time to spray inky fluids all over the concrete. Content warning. Demian throws up and it is the main focus of the scene. The vomit is shown in the panel of an illustration but it's not realistic, instead shown and described more as black sludge. Is the alien trying to make a run for it because we can't feed it meat? Demian isn't going to get used to the sludge. Not now, not ever. Sometimes their body gives them a warning before the chunk starts spewing, but that's not really a high bar to clear. It doesn't smell like anything. A flash of heat rips through their body in the blink of an eye. When did you say my body would adjust again? Soon. Very soon. Will subside when bond strengthens. Yeah, and when is that? I've been feeling like shit all month. Unknown. The gurgling in the back of their throat finally ceases. Demian takes a deep, shuddering breath. They try to wipe the remnants of the slime off their greasy skin. It smears into their pores. Ugh! Hunched over, Demian cracks a plastic water bottle open and starts to chug. Hey, Demian! Oh my god, not now. They don't turn to look at Miriam. Nevertheless, they know damn well what she's going to ask. Demian doesn't like how much effort it takes to grunt, yeah. Well, you know I'm getting a day off in a week or so, right? I told you. Protecting you from her. They mumble. She swallows hard. If you don't mind me asking, do you have any plans for that? It's a Monday. Fuck off and leave me alone. Demian cranes their head over their shoulder. I'm working then. Double shift. My third one that week. Oh. She looks down and starts to fiddle with her nails. So, you aren't gonna be free that day then? No. I get it, yeah. I'm actually gonna be working a double... Miriam. Sweetie. You are more transparent than our atmosphere, honey. Come on. Miriam chuckles. It sounds awkward. But, if you get out another day, maybe I could call it sick too, and... Are you okay? Her eyes widen. They realize now how deranged they look, crouched forward and their hair sticking to their face. Demian tenses their shoulder, using the hood of their jacket to hide their chin encrusted with the mucus. Peachy, why'd you ask? Demian clears their throat of the building phlegm. Just a rough day at work, Saul. Are you sure? You look like you've been sweating and... I'm fine. I'm just gonna make some food and take a nap. I'll be all good by tomorrow. They lie through their teeth. See you. Hey! Miriam gasps, rushing to their side. Demian flinches. Clammy fingers curl into their palm. Seriously! Oh, whoops, wrong person. Seriously, Webster. Webster, I'm fine. Really. Yeah, I gotta get home though. Don't worry about me. She takes the answer. Her face doesn't relax though. Okay. Miriam backs away from Demian. They take the opportunity in both hands and sprint back home. Yeah, fucking book it, Demian. You're just hungry. Simply need to feed. Yeah, I think so. They do their best to forget the look on Miriam's face. She had the face of someone catching on to a great, big conspiracy. Hopefully that conspiracy is that you're not gonna fucking date her and she'll get the hint. Although she may end up just narking on Carl that he's abusing us and our work ethic. There's also that. But it's not enough. It never is it? Slyce needs something more than this. As Demian swallows the last bite, the realization of its incompletion crosses the bridge of their thoughts. It needs one. That's okay, isn't it? No one can have everything they want, and Slyce is no different. Demian knows what it wants, and the thought makes them a little sick. Oh, we got some poetry from Demian here. Mother says I killed her child. She says I choked it to death, cut its throat, shaved off all its beautiful hair, exposed its feeble and protruding ribs to the world. She says I'm the one who starved it to death, mocked its body, its face, its name, begged everyone to pretend the thing in its shell was her happy child. She doesn't hate her child. She hates me. In her eyes, I'm the thing that killed her child, and laughs in mania when I make everyone call her child by my name. I think we both know the truth. She's the one who killed that child. Her words were the fingers on its throat, strangling that sweet little thing with her love, her starvation, her prodding. And when her child was dead, she stuffed it in a pretty little box and paraded its bloated corpse around. I think we both know who I am. I'm not the one who killed that child. I'm just the thing that crawled into its carcass and made it breathe again. I pick all the botflies off her child's skin and place them on my tongue. Her child's been dead for years, and she still won't see. My mother is its murderer. I'm just using its hollow eyes as my own. Damn. Girl in Your Dreams, February 2nd, another time skip. Demian is an NB, so they're non-binary, which is still under the trans umbrella, so and their gender expression did not align with what their mother wanted. So that poem is essentially them expressing their frustration of, hey, Ma, I did not kill your child. You are the one who made me how I am. I am a product of my environment. You cannot blame me when I am the effect of your cause, is what I gain from that. Yee. Oh, coffee. If you ask Demian, they would say they do a damn good job of keeping their painful memories from resurfacing to the front. The only caveat is that this repression is only possible when they're awake. No matter how much Demian actively works to forget it, the memories are always floating there in their brain, just waiting to come out in their dreams. They dream in red again. When the early shift slows to a stop and the comfort of their bed lures them into a nap, crimson is all they see. Demian was about 16 when they started to retreat in their shell. It wasn't because of their revelation the year before. If anything, figuring out their tumultuous relationship with their gender helped them feel more comfortable in a small group of people, as long as those people weren't the Zhao family. It's the big crowds that freak Demian out. Always has, and it always will. Being the host is one thing, but being a single body in a sea of elbows and fists? Just thinking about it is enough to make their skin crawl. With that said, going to be a claustrophobic house party tonight aired on the stupider side of Demian's teenage ideas. The party had been raging on and on for hours. Anyone else would probably have had a panic attack about now. So in actuality, Demian hid in the dustiest corner of the bathroom and a really good reaction, thank you very much. Oh, is a really good reaction. Yeah, it's not bad. They didn't even want to be at this rotten party anyway, but it was better than going home. Tracing the patterns of the bathtub tiles, or the bathroom tiles, with their eyes is an attempt to ground themselves in reality. Demian would use their fingers to scrawl across the white grout in between the blue and black tiles if they were home, or were at home. The chill of the floor would be relaxing, but there's no guarantee it hasn't been pissed on. Yeah. That's mostly the reason why they're sitting in the tub instead of the floor. I mean, how do you know they haven't pissed in the tub? Demian looks up. Wait, shit. Occupied! Sorry, I forgot to lock. A girl whose face Demian can no longer recall greets them. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I just needed a break from all the noise, and I'll come back. Their shoulders soften. Oh, yeah, me too, actually. You want to sit with me? Sure, thank you. The girl closes the door behind her and leans her back against it. She pulls her knees to her chest. Demian keeps theirs sprawled outwards. So, what brought you here? They ask after a tentative silence. My twin Peyton kinda dragged me here. She rests her chin on her cargo shorts. I wanted to stay home, but, I didn't want to leave her by herself where she could get hurt. I'm the older one of us. By a few seconds, but I still want to protect her. Yeah, I just want to get away from my family right now. Mm-hmm. She looks up, nodding in sympathy. By the way, everyone just calls me... Or... though. Demian, you can call me by my last name if you'd like. It's Zhao. People tend to mispronounce Demian. Zhao, sounds familiar to me. The girl really looks at Demian now. Really studies their face. Wait, oh, isn't your dad that one math tutor? He is. I remember now, Peyton used to go to him all the time in sophomore year. She furrows her eyebrows, pushing her glasses back up. He never mentioned you, though. I mean, I know he has a... He doesn't know. I haven't told him. He still thinks I'm his... It's such an abrupt statement, one that Demian has been afraid to accept himself. I think I'm scared of what he'll say. What he'll do. What do you mean? I know him. He won't understand. I think he'll hate me for it. He wanted a... so bad, but instead he got me. Their voice is incredibly bitter. And then if I told him I wasn't even... he would... He's a very... commanding guy, I guess. He puts his foot down and whatever he wants he gets. Can't be reasoned with at all. And if he finds out, he'll... who knows? All I know is that it won't be pretty. A dry chuckle worms its way out from their tongue. That's why I'm even here. He and Ma have been fighting again because he won't budge on something and they got so loud I just left. Couldn't deal with it. I left a note saying I was studying at the library, but I needed something to drown out my thoughts.
Hello, motherfucker.
But... hello, welcome in! Drown out their thoughts. This party did not. Oh no. If anything, it acted as an amplifier, twisting their screaming around and around with the cheers of others until it was all a cacophony of howling. No wonder they needed to hide in the bathroom. It was the only place where the world would shut up for a minute. I'm sorry, the girl says. I don't want to say I have it worse than you or that we're the same, but I know what it's like. There are things I've never told anyone about me. Not my dad or even Peyton. She goes on, taking her glasses off and scrubbing the lenses with the corner of her sleeve. You really want to tell someone, but you know if you do, it'll only make things worse for you, right? People say it's like ripping off a band-aid, but it's just the moment of, nothing about the aftermath. So you keep the bandage on, even when it makes you miserable. Quite an apt description, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, you got that right on the money. Their voice cracks, the lump in their throat choking their every word. I just want to be me around him. My ma too, but they scare me so fucking much. I feel like I have to hide myself under so many masks just to be something they won't hate. And it hurts, because I love them so much, and I want to be enough for them both. And it's the sad truth of knowing that you never will. Not again. Here they go, crying in a stranger's bathroom to a girl they met 5 minutes ago. Fuck, I'm sorry. Demian bites the inside of their cheeks as hard as they can, teeth gritted. It's been a long year for me. Way too long. No, it's okay, really. I get it. She leans in closer. Do you have anyone to talk to this about? Or talk to about this? I have a hard time making friends. And my boyfriend wouldn't get it. And I can't, like, go to a therapist or something. My dad would flip his shit. Oh. Demian tries in desperation to keep the air from shifting and growing cold. Hey, I'll be fine. I'll pick myself up, put myself together, and I can keep pretending. Okay, just know you're not alone. The look on her face told Demian she had more to say, but left it at that. Good to know when the other party knows when not to push it. They look down at their socks again. Can we just sit here for a bit? I won't talk like that anymore. Sure. The silence was comfortable for a while. The bustle of the party outside was but a muffled roar in the cluttered bathroom. Demian wonders if their chance encounter with the girl could become the start of a friendship. Sort of like bumping a tree and knocking a seed into the soil, but tending to it until the blossoms touch the skies. But they're a coward who can't ever say how they feel. So they keep their stupid, bumbling mouths shut. A muzzle on the lips, a bullet in the brain, keeping all those thoughts locked away in the bathtub where they can never spill free. Are you in there? The girl jumps to her feet. Yeah, Peyton, it's me. Sorry, I had to clean up a mess. She swings the door open. Demian reaches out to wave goodbye. Crimson desire splashes from the tub, but stops short of the girl's feet. A tangling hand pulls her away, out of the comfort of the bathroom. They stand up, calling to her. It never reaches her ears. Soon enough, she's just a blur in the crowd. Oh. The door slams shut, severing the thread that had been woven between the two. Oh. Demian jerks awake. God damn it. They never did reconnect with that girl. These days, Demian can't even remember her name or what she looked like. Just that she had thick soda bottle glasses, had a twin named Peyton, and sat with them when they didn't really want to be alone. Demian figures they could find her and reconnect if they really wanted to, but at this point enough time has passed that it'd be stalker behavior. I mean, to be fair, there was that story of, like, two young girls becoming besties on, like, a carnival cruise, and then, like, finding themselves 20 years later because they wanted to reconnect. I mean, it wouldn't be stalker behavior, it'd just be like, hey, I'm trying to find this person, we kind of hit it off, and I want to be friends. Like, it's not creepy unless you make it creepy. Granted, you know, the bathroom isn't the carnival cruise, but you get the idea. They can see it now. Hey, buddy, remember that dysphoric little shit you talked to exactly once because they were crying in the bathroom at a party 6 years ago? Well, that was me! How did I find you, you ask? I tracked you down through all the Peytons that live in our town. Probably only 5 or so max, and narrowed it down until I found a Peyton with an older twin. Why are you giving me a restraining order? Yeah, nah, out of the question. Content warning. Demian goes in depth into the ways their father abused them as a child, both verbally and physically. This abuse is described in text only. Discussion of cannibalism. Demian discusses wanting to eat their father's heart in one choice, though it uses the metaphorical sense, or in a metaphorical sense. The text is graphic and in-depth. There are no illustrations to accompany this. There are brief moments of it, or mentions of a cat being hit with a car and killed. There are no visuals to accompany this. Yeah, it's gonna go back over Demian's cat being killed, unfortunately, because the dad ran it over like a jackass. This game has its funny moments. It really does. Trinket really knows how to add levity to, like, what is essentially a very dark story. At least for, like, what little of it we have played. Demian plopped back down onto the pillow, staring blank daggers at the ceiling. This is going to be a long night. Now with their old life on the mind, combined with the typical insomnia, Demian would be kissed by Lady Luck herself if they even get an hour of sleep. Oh, Demian, it's just you, me, and that soda or coffee stain on the ceiling. We'll have existential dread together. This sucks. Why did their stupid head even have to dredge up those days? It's the mental equivalent of whenever Tabisco would plop down a dying bird, still warm and twitching on their bed. Now the whole night is ruined. Wait a second. Wait a fucking second. Hey, Demian drags her eyes upward, as if they had any shot of looking directly into their brain. Hey, fucker, I know you're in there. Wouldn't that be the way the parasite could actually sleep just fine? Rude name. Well, it's awfully rude to be slithering around in my brain and prodding in my memories without permission, isn't it? If they close their eyes and really listen to their body, they're sure they could hear the maggots digging into the gray matter and chewing away at their thoughts like a nice afternoon snack. Want to learn more of you? Cannot go far, only to the surface. You ever heard of a little human concept called privacy? Difficult in another body. I'll say it again. Privacy. It's when you let someone have their own little secrets without poking around in their brain. We share a mind. Memories. Dreams. Dude, share it or not, literally just ask for permission. There's shit I don't want to think about anymore. And I would really appreciate it if you asked before trawling around in there. They focus their mental energy on their displeasure. One way or another, Demian will make sure Slyce knows it had crossed a line. Holding their arms over the suffocating comforter, Demian stews Demian stews in the rage. Then let us talk now, with your permission. What? Right now? Yes. Nothing better for you right now. Well, they are, just staring at the ceiling and hoping to go to sleep. The only other two options right now are scroll on their phone until sunrise or close their eyes and try to ignore their screaming mind. Fine, sure, ask away, I guess. Who is your father? Dude! They sit up so fast their arms get tangled up in the sheets. Why is that the first thing you ask me? You think of him every single day. Yeah, that's kind of what happens when you have daddy issues. The greatest trick society ever pulled on the world was popularizing a term that blamed a child for how they react to their failure of a father. Fine, I hear you. Why are they talking out loud all of a sudden? Demian doesn't know. If they had to wager a guess, it probably just felt damn good to air out their turbulent relationship with their father. Pop the cork off the bottle of champagne and let it spray out, essentially. You want to know how I feel about my dad, huh? Well, I have been blessed and fortunate enough to have a good relationship with my parents. I have heard the tale of tales from both my parents and my friends about their own misfortunes with their parentage. And I know many parents out there are cruel and abusive to their children. And while their children do hate them for all that they have put them through, that hate has a core, and that core is love. That hate is usually from the resentment of, we could have had a better life, and yet you chose this for us. I, as the child, did not choose this, but you, as the parent, did. And, you know, as a kid, even as you get older, you still care for them, and that's the only natural thing. You do care for your parents, and you may even love them. But you still are afraid of them. You still hate them because they don't care for you like they should. As we said earlier, they may do enough to care for you, but not enough to care for you. And given the poem from earlier, I think we know the choice. I wish I didn't love him anymore. There, they said it. All their feelings of inadequacy swirling together with hatred and lingering familial bond, distilled down to one single desire. Why do you love him? Don't have anyone else to love, I guess. He's still family to me. And what's the crux of it all? And that's the crux of it all. Despite everything he's done, they still love him in a weird way. They love him because they wanted him to love them back. Maybe, just maybe, if they'd put all their energy towards making something out of themselves and got on their own 2 feet, he would return even an iota of the love they gave. Yeah, no. A parent like that, no. They know in their heart he never will. After all, Demian committed the unforgivable sin, in his eyes at least, of being non-binary. And it's not like they came right out and told him. They're not stupid. No, they were just a victim of their cousin. The rat found out their real identity and squealed the truth to vile minds who reacted with hatred. Oh, God. Lovely. I just wish something between us would change. I wish I didn't still care about him, or that he would reach out and apologize. You desire more than this. Yeah, I'm not just filled with hate. I can feel it within you. Wish to know. Guess I'd like to get out of this dump. Deeper than that. Many aspirations within a human. The one I feel is your deepest desire. Desperation that defines your very being. Oh, that's what it meant. Tonight's just a night for really personal questions, isn't it? Yeah, I guess so, huh? Well, I guess this is what we get for poking a pile of noodles in a dumpster that some chick threw up. We get them pretending to be our therapist. Parasite therapist, let's go. It is a good way to pass the time, at least. Demian's hope was to talk themselves to sleep. Exhaust themselves enough they'll get a decent night's rest before tomorrow's shift. It is pretty soothing anyway. Demian presses their lips tight. Not to get too personal, but I think it's... to be a musician, that would count as like an upper level desire. This, also technically an upper level desire. It is the natural reaction, you know, the whole hurt people deal. That is a natural response that you have to kind of curtail. Whereas this, that's the ultimate thing that I think Demian truly wants. To just be able to be themselves and live without basically any fuckery. They want to have friends. They want to just exist in peace. That's it. At least that's what I interpret it. To live free. It's a vague statement, but one that Demian has dreamt about for literal years. Maybe decades. Probably their entire life. What do you mean? My whole life, I've been living the way other people want. Go to school, get a partner, dump him, take ballet. I would have gone to college if I wasn't kicked out. Probably gotten my arm twisted to be a lawyer. And now look. Work, and work, and work, and more work. Do what Carl says, fill in Isaac's shift, let Margaret vent her troubles to me. Can't say a word. If I'm upset and show it, I lose my shifts. Demian gets the small victories, of course, like kicking up such a stink their family let them swap ballet for guitar, but that's how it's always been. They won't even dwell on the fact years of ballet made their feet hurt before a thunderstorm. All I want is to live the way I want to. That's not impossible, right? I know I'll have to work until I die. I won't ever get a retirement. I just want to be able to do something I want before I kick it. Make a big, life-changing decision that wasn't already chosen for me. Anyone can become free. Just takes guts. And money. That's the most unfortunate thing in all of this. Our world is not kind to those who have little. Not even. All you need is a little push. Courage will set the ball rolling. Momentum will do the rest. Look, Slyce, that's great and all, but you need a steady source of money before you can just do whatever you want. Let's say you want to get a nice pickup truck and drive around the country with it, stopping at all the great American landmarks. Where's the money for the truck going to come from? Gas funds, hotels, food, admission fees, God forbid. It growls low and deep in their chest. Don't give me that. I'm not scolding you. I've dreamt about it for years, but realistically I know it'd never happen. Yeah, because even if you, like, camp out in the truck, it's a dangerous thing. Does not mean it is a dream abandoned permanently. Can return if set free. Yeah, well, I got no one to set me free. No rich daddy to fund my lifestyle, no mystery great step-grandma twice removed who died and left me her entire inheritance, just me in this stupid fucking hotel. It does not respond to this. Demian doesn't really hate it, but this lack of knowledge on basic human living is going to drive them up a wall if it keeps up. It's one of those things that it's a non-issue early on, maybe even a cute quirk when everything is fresh and new, but becomes absolutely infuriating if no one nips it in the bud. Neither Demian nor Slyce seem to have a will to keep the conversation going after that downer like that. Demian closes her eyes as if to signify the end of their discussion. Maybe if they sleep it off, they'll feel better about themselves. Maybe they won't be so obsessed that Slyce poked around in their head and would have continued to do so if they hadn't woken up. Maybe they wouldn't feel like their only purpose is to be a cog in a machine. God, that's relatable. It doesn't matter tonight, though. They can't have been their life in a day. The only problem is that sleeping it off seems like it's impossible tonight. Really, Demian should have seen this coming. If one memory about their past or family gets unburied, the rest is going to follow for hours on end. No respite allowed, of course. Well, shit. No matter how much Demian tries to forget while sober, the dams will always burst and flood their brain. Drinking doesn't always help them forget, but there's always a non-zero chance of getting so hammered it all becomes a haze for a while. And in the moment, it might slur all their thoughts into an incoherent soup. Trash enough money into drinking cheap booze that burns the throat and destroys the liver, and Demian won't know if they're thinking of their first kiss or their last night home. It sounds tempting. Real damn tempting, actually. Don't. You will regret it. Its voice sounds a little clearer in their mind. Slyce isn't perfectly audible in their stream of consciousness, but suddenly the droning, whispering fly doesn't have to scream as loud to be heard over their thoughts. If Demian had to use a metaphor, they'd say it's like someone scraped a handful of mud out of a cloudy pond. Cloudy pond. The pond isn't clean, but it's less dirty. It's either that, or I wallow in my own misery all day. It will impede your mind. Dull your thoughts. Delay your body's functions. Cannot bloom in these constant conditions. Will prove to be a hazard. I'm not breaking into the butcher shop again. We almost got cost last time. There is another solution. Another place. With better meat. Dude, what the fuck? Slyce growls in response. It wasn't a physical noise, but Demian could feel like it Demian could feel like it was almost making their brain rattle. I don't know why that was so fucking hard to read. It's a feeling they can never get used to. They'll put that in the same category as when they wake up too quick and feel the other splash out of their pancreas. Oh. You'll be fine. I don't do this often anyway. Last time I drank was New Year's. It is true, admittedly. Demian doesn't like to admit it to anyone, but they rang in the new year by heading right to their favorite cheap, shitty dive bar and knocking back enough booze till they couldn't think straight. All they remember after stepping into the bar was waking up in the late afternoon with a hangover so bad it felt like their skull would split in two. Oof. But that's what you want, isn't it? You want to forget. Forget yourself. Forget your rage. Forget everything. Yeah, it's all your fault. You got me thinking about my dad. They sit up and grab their jacket, draped on the edge of the motel's shitty plastic chair they have to provide in every room. Demian hates that thing. It's uncomfortable to sit on, and they almost broke it a few times. For Demian, it's their designated laundry chair for clothes that are too clean to go in the wash and too dirty to put away. Demian, you will regret this. Have you ever felt better after one of these? They are self-destructive binges. Leave you empty and incomplete. Isn't that how you want me? Just so fucking miserable and depressed, I beg you to do something that'll make me happy. For once, it is silent. The other is unhappy, but it is so very silent. Real telling, you know. They'll deal with the implications of that later. I wonder if that's what blooming entails. Demian loses all sense of self and who they are, and the other takes over. And then just goes on a human flesh-eating binge. Because I get the feeling that's going to happen at some point. Alcohol abuse. Demian drinks until the cows come home. And there is an illustration. The bartender's smile seems almost sad as he watches Demian sidle into their cracked leather stool. On another day, Demian would say it's a pitying grimace. It'd be the look of someone who just wants to humor a stuck-up child before sending it off to play. Today, they don't give a rat's ass one way or another. You're up late, he says over the bustling ambience of the drawling music. They huff. Up early, more like. What's the matter? Couldn't sleep? Yeah, my head won't shut up, I guess. Demian rests their elbows on the bar top. The whole place reeks of weed and armpit sweat, but the stench lightens when they sit up close with the bartender. They think he's nice, and he probably thinks they're just another troubled youth who's abusing their age to deal with their problems. Well, he wouldn't be wrong anyway. The bartender brings them back from the brink of spiraling into their thoughts. So, what's the cure for insomnia tonight, Demian? Demian takes a second for some mental math. They'd like a gin and tonic, or 10. Those are too expensive, though. But damn, it sure does taste good on a desolate, dry winter night. If they want the real bang for their buck, they could get the crappy stuff no one wants. It always tastes like cleaning chemicals going down, and even worse, puking it back up. But if it gets them drunk enough to forget everything, and with a bit of money to spare, it'd be pretty damn nice. This is simply a choice of poison. Yet you do not realize you can simply set the bottle down. You don't have to do this to yourself. Leave me alone. If we're all, you know what? We're just gonna have the one drink. So you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna have a gin and tonic. It's just something nice. Demian deserves something nice for fucking once. They can enjoy a little gin and tonic as a treat. Obligatory, don't drink your problems away. Otherwise the drinking will become a much bigger problem than what caused the drinking. How about a gin and tonic? Demian asks. It sounds pretty nice today. Well, they've been through enough lately. It'd be nice if Demian could get something they want for once, instead of some cheap shit that makes them want to puke just by sniffing it. The bartender nods and gets to work. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and soon enough Demian's staring down the barrel of their liver shotgun. It looks nice, and the lime in the clear liquid is fresh. They grip the glass in one hand, tight enough they could shatter it with another ounce of force. Down the hatch. Demian throws their head back and drains the glass. It sure does taste nice at first, but the burning kicks in mid-swallow. He always does. It's agony, no doubts about it. With enough down their gullet and in their system, though, it'll all just melt away into a muffled euphoria. It hurts. It always does at first. That wasn't enough, was it? Of course it's not, Zhao. You can still think. The world isn't spinning, and if you stop now, you'd remember everything. You don't need to abuse yourself to forget your pains. Wringing yourself dry will leave you broken and desolate. What's on your mind? The bartender starts. Crappy day at work or something? Demian swirls her finger across the rim of the glass. You could say that. I mean, every day at that dump is shit to deal with, but it's been getting worse lately. Hey, how about another one of these? He repeats the process, talking all the while. Yeah, I know how that feels. Everyone outside of Main Street's been having those complaints lately. They can't help the flush of jealousy that spikes in their stomach. Demian's no good at multitasking if you ask them. No matter how hard they try, if they set out to do 3 or 4 things at once, they'll either end up going bonkers or fucking up all their tasks. I mean, to be fair, you can't really multitask. Not truly. Like, if it's a task that doesn't require you to constantly be on it, like say you're doing laundry, then maybe you can do like a couple of things at once. But otherwise, you're not really gonna be able to, because your mind is gonna try to focus on one thing or another, and you're just not gonna be able to commit, and it just does not work. Conversation and cleaning. Well, they'll revert back to speaking Chinese and start smearing cooking oil on the bathroom vanity. What? How the hell did they get oily rags to the cleaning cart? Who knows? Certainly not Demian. Oh. Oh, I guess they grabbed a dirty rag. Fuck. I hate it when that happens. I live in the slums, you know. A little further from Main Street, if you ask me. We've really been getting the brunt of it. I can barely afford rent, even with the whole scheme I've got with Carl. Demian rests their chin on their hand, pressing the weight of their elbow down on the bar top. The buzz of the alcohol has yet to kick in. I'm sorry, Demian, he says. I know you've been struggling lately, but I didn't know it was that bad. He places down another glass in front of them, filled to the brim with the same shit as last time. Demian swipes it up and downs before they can regret their choice or get the idea to stop now. The gin and tonic doesn't taste as good as it did the first time, but that's okay. The buzz has finally set in. Okay, so we ended up with 2 drinks. We're just gonna have the buzz and sit at that lull. Slyce is right. It's useless. This isn't gonna get them anywhere. No, but a little buzz doesn't hurt. Demian won't be happy even for a moment. They're not a cheery drunk. Getting so shit-faced they wake up alone, hungover, and broke has never been a fun way to drown out the flashbacks. Yeah, they mutter. Yeah, it's been that bad. We're all just trying to survive, but some of us have to try harder. I know how it feels. At least someone does. So hey, Mr. Bartender, you wouldn't happen to, like, you know, have an opening? Like, could Demian work here instead? Like, moonlighting in a bar seems like it would earn them a lot more than just, sticking in the motel, you know? They really need something. And if they're old enough to drink, they're old enough to serve. Demian really believed drinking would make them feel better. Dumbass. They knew in their heart it was pointless, but it was worth a shot. They rest their head in their arms and close their eyes. Hey, Demian. Hmm? I'm saying this as a friend. Go home. This isn't making you happy. They snort without looking up. Are you even allowed to tell your customers that? I know Carl would pitch a goddamn fit if I told people to find a better motel. I mean, yeah. As a bartender, it's also kind of their job to cut people off. So, you know. My manager won't know as long as you don't tell her I said that. The bartender sighs and glances over his shoulder, just to make sure she wasn't listening. I'm cutting you off while you can still think straight. That's the problem. I don't want to. I just want to feel happy for a while. No, you know what? Not even that. I just don't want to be so fucking depressed and burnt out all the time. It takes a lot not to sob in the middle of the bar. Nothing I do matters. I want to think I'm a writer and a musician, but I haven't written anything in years. Just my shitty poetry scribbled down on whatever napkin I have on hand. I work and work and work and work, and I never get anywhere. I barely make minimum wage, so moving out is impossible. As the alcoholic's talking, Demian thinks, but damn it all if it doesn't feel good to let it all out. I'm tired of being tired. That is my problem. I don't even care if I get to feel happy again. I just don't want to feel miserable. All I know is that this isn't the place for that. Tell me about it. Let's forget everything for a while. There is a cold and uncaring city beyond your fingertips. We can get lost in it for a night. It's better than being in here. And the bartender juts his chin up gently, pointing toward the door. Go home. Sleep it off. You're not gonna feel better hanging around here. You'll thank me when you're sober. Slowly, Demian lifts their head up from the comfort of their arms. Sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. See you around, maybe. Honestly, Demian, the bartender, they might be a good friend. Just like come back later and go, hey, you want to be friends? You did me a solid and I could use a friend. Sleeping for a long while sure sounds like a delicious indulgence. Even if they can't forget, they can finally get back to sleep. We could eat and indulge ourselves in other ways. You are so very lonely, and my hunger is unwavering. What are you suggesting, Slyce? I don't know about you, but I just want to sleep. It is your choice to make, but do remember of my existence. I don't know what he means. I don't know what Slyce means by indulge. So I'm gonna say we're not doing that. Actually, I don't even know. I guess Slyce would also be a they. Because I don't think Slyce even has concept of gender. We're going the fuck to bed. Yeah, there you go, buddy. Just pass the fuck out on the bed. Oh, hey. We're dreaming in green. It wasn't supposed to be this way. I know. I don't even remember your name. That's not what I mean. It's what I mean. I think about you, you know, all the time. I wish I got to know you better before I had to leave. We should have been more than one that blah, blah. I cannot read, apparently. We should have been more than that one night. You understood. Everything I was belly aching over, you got it. Why? Why'd you let go? I don't have anyone now. We could have been friends if you didn't leave. We've crossed paths more times than you think. Then why didn't you ever reach out? I guess life had different plans for you. Yeah, you could say that. Something found me right after New Year's. I think I'm afraid of what it's turning me into. You've become something you're afraid to look at. You're not you. Something went wrong, and your skin does not belong to you anymore. It will twist your bones into an evergreen of its own shape. Your flesh is its meal. Solitude is only a prison if you make it one. The alternative of the path you walk is far more isolating. Are you happy with this path? Fuck no! Demian is the farthest thing from happy with this. No, I'm not. There is still time. There is always time. You can change your fate. It's not the end of the world. You can heal the wounds torn in you. It's okay to let go. The girl who you hold at arm's length can be pulled closer if you let her. Her love is pure and stringless. I don't want her love. She doesn't understand. You do. Your idea of me understands. You've built a fantasy of a girl whose name you cannot recall and place her on a pedestal. That's also very true. We, as people, we do tend to exaggerate the better features of a person we only meet a few times and end up building up a different idea of who they are in our head rather than who they actually are. Kind of like how when some people see a person on the corner and go, oh wow, that person was the most beautiful person I had ever seen, but they only got like a fleeting glimpse, so they only saw like a few of the more notable features. And then if they were to see them again, they're like, oh, you just kind of an average person. Neat. That, I don't know, that's the nearest comparison I could make in my head. She is perfect and can do no wrong because she's a construct of your mind. She is a single note that hangs in the air. You will never hear the melody of her full self. It's too late for that. The time has passed, and the threads of our paths have diverged. Veins like paper. Yeah, again, Trinket has done a superb job with this. A good story makes you think. Forget the connections you have missed and reach out toward the door you have yet to open. She cares about you in a way that you desire, even beyond the surface you do not look past. I mean, we both know that Miriam does want to date Demian. I would like to think that if they did take the time to make it clear of like, hey, I know you like me in this capacity, but I cannot provide that, but if you want to be platonic buddies, we can do that. But this is also a character who I'm pretty sure the story has gone over how they've like struggled with communication. Because it's not really gone well for them. Miriam looks just like you know. Every time I see her, I can almost remember your face, the hair, the glasses, the eyes. She reminds me so much of you. It's like you're almost there in my head, and it hurts. I just want to reach out to you. Please forget me. Forget me. Forget your other. Reach out to her, and I promise you, we'll be happy. She doesn't understand me. I think she's in love. If I told her I was Ace, I think she would hate me. She won't. So is that like Demian's conscience speaking to them? Demian wakes up alone again, with a hangover and no memory of what they were dreaming about. The bed sheets are soaked in their tears, and they wish they knew why. Slyce doesn't seem happy with them, and with the pounding in their skull, Demian can't blame it. The early afternoon sunlight makes their eyes burn. They whimper and cover both Titan and Vessel in the filthy blankets to try and drown out their problems for another day. Coffee. I saw you in my dreams again. I wonder sometimes, would you recognize me if I walked past you? What do I look like in your memories? If we met again, right here, right now, in our flawed, broken, drifting bodies, would I remember your name? Would you remember mine? I think you wouldn't, especially not now, with the skin on my arms peeling, my eyes about to burst, and my rotten, festering heart struggling to beat. I think I'm just a parody of the guy you knew then. But you didn't even know me. We were just two strangers crossing paths for one night, the way trains do on the tracks. And sure, the train screeched to a stop for a moment. We spoke a word to each other, reached out for a heartbeat, and held on tight. But before you saw the truth, the ugly truth, that the guy in front of you was a corpse that would rot inside years later, the conductor got the trains up and running and pulled them out of the station. You let go of my hand, and you left me. You left me to rot in the gutter. But it's okay. Even I didn't know I was a corpse. Damn. Butterfly's Cocoon, February 17th. Demian's running out of bleach again. That's a pity. The Restful Night Motel may not get any cleaner from their efforts, but at least using a bucket of bleach and then some won't get it any dirtier. So really, it's for Demian's own good. They're not doing this for Carl's benefit. Who does this? Why do I always get sacked with the gross shit? He takes advantage of you. You do so much more than everyone else under his thumb. At least when I go in, I know it's clean. I don't just flip the mattress over and pretend I didn't see roaches. Demian frowns and shakes their head at the memory. Oh god. There's roaches. That's it. Burn the motel down. Anarchy route. Their schedule never seems to align with that of any of another cleaner. Their schedule never seems to align with that of another cleaner, Isaac, but Demian can always tell what rooms were his doing. Even for the motel standards, Isaac's cleaning standards were ridiculously low. After the 5th or so complaint about slimy bedsheets rolled in, Demian kind of became Isaac's babysitter. Oh god. They know it's not proper minimum wage, minimum effort behavior, but going behind him and stripping rooms down properly at least makes them feel better in the long run. Yeah, cause like, if the motel doesn't do well, Demian's kind of out of a place to live. So they're actually in, oh god, the 7-layer bean dip of hell for them just keeps getting deeper. We might be hitting an 8th layer. Besides, if Carl gets the bright idea to show them into some other room, they'd rather not live where Isaac cleans. Yeah. Yet Isaac is paid the same as you with half the effort. It's either I clean or I have a panic attack. Born in filth, raised in maggots, and clawing their way out of the mud pit. That's how Demi would sum up their life in one sentence. The bleach bottle is light in their hands. Demian sits up and sloshes the liquid inside. They could probably make it through the rest of this room without needing to grab a new jug. They sigh deeply and lean back. To their left is the cracked drywall. To their right, the bed. That little gap is their favorite spot to wedge themselves into. It's mainly because it hides them from the door. If Margaret, or God forbid, Carl checks in on them, they can pretend they were cleaning under the bed. This sucks, they grunt to no one in particular. Why do you give him your everything? It's for me, not for Carl. Yet that is not how he sees it. Scream to the world how you clean to make yourself happy. It will not change his perception of you. The parasite makes a valid point. You work yourself to the bone for him. Don't you? Well, I know this is true for this place. In this playthrough, I want to be the angel on the shoulder. So, the best way to avoid a panic attack is to just keep busy. So what? It gives me something to do. I can't just sit on my hands and hide away all the time. I'll go insane if I do. That could be time spent towards a hobby. Music, art, poetry, everything you used to love. Something that makes you happy. But all your efforts go towards work. When work's all over, I'm tired and I just want to sleep. Can you blame a guy for that? Huh? And if I do the bare minimum, I'm still just as tired. So I'd be rotting in my work, life, and personal life, day in, day out. Do nothing, sleep, repent. Or not repent, repeat! Also, hi, Stoic, welcome in. At least if I'm busy at work, I feel like I've done something. It's empty, stupid work, but maybe if I twist myself into enough of a cog, someone will notice, will appreciate you, will love you. Yeah, maybe then I'll finally feel like I belong. What it do it? The parasite is whispering sweet nothings in our ear, but they're sweet nothings of potentially causing chaos and havoc. And I'm trying. It's basically the devil on the other shoulder, and I am the angel borb. Like, hey, maybe we don't do the thing. Yeah, they do that. There, they said it. Demian wants to belong. Or at least feel like it. A gentleness seems to overtake Slyce's veins. Demian leans back, and it feels like Slyce is cradling them in some way. I understand your fear. I worry I am unneeded within these cursed grounds. Everything has changed so much since I was unraveled. I fear a world where I am eradicated from necessity. Demian's breath hitches. It's only been a month, if they're lucky, since their bond with Slyce was forged in the rot. Even now, sharing a body and mind, they can't help but feel like they know so little of it. It can't hurt to talk a bit more with it, right? Yeah, like, Slyce, what the fuck were you? What happened to you, Slicey? Why were you unraveled? You can tell me. I won't hurt you. Sent to a place of oblivion centuries ago. Cannot remember why or whom. With no human to bond with, I could not bloom nor feed. Thus, I had to unravel myself to stay alive. Until the only part of me that was in existence was my very core. Demian stares down at their knees, trying to comprehend what little Slyce can convey of oblivion. Day in, day out, nothing but darkness. Nothing and no one to keep a guy sane. Demian wonders if they'd lose their marbles in the same situation. I mean, probably. You would go insane, become sane again, re-lose your marbles, and then re-find them in all of that time. More than likely. Would they even know how long they'd been there? Would they think eons have passed when it's only been a week? An eon feeling like a week? A weak man would have broken instantly. A stronger one a month, maybe. Yet here Slyce was now. Not only was it alive after centuries, but it was flourishing. Demian, I don't know if I would call this flourishing, to be quite honest. Not to insult you or anything, but, this still sucks. For both of you. Sure, it needed to sit around in Demian's guts to bring itself back to its former glory, but it had such an unbreakable will to survive. That's horrifying. I'm so sorry. I don't think anyone deserved that. Especially not you. Demian wants to embrace it. Wrap it tight in their arms and never let go. Tell it how it's gonna be okay, because it left. It left that all-devouring void, the hell of emptiness, and it could finally breathe. Slyce didn't die, and instead was reborn. Just as Demian was forced from the house they grew up in, Slyce clawed its way from nothingness. They could learn a lot from it. Any longer and I would have forgotten myself. Forgotten everything. I don't really know exactly what that would feel like, but I think I know a similar feeling. Their sense of self has been wavering more these days. Having something else literally living inside their skin for a month and a half hasn't really helped Demian win more ground in their constant battle of feeling connected to their physical body. It's not exactly something Demian would call a quirk about themselves. More like something they've struggled with their whole life. They haven't been able to broach the topic with anyone. What could they say anyway? Hey Maggie, you remember how intrinsically your body is an extension of yourself? Yeah, I don't have that. My body's not a part of what makes me myself. It just kind of houses whatever the real Demian Zhao is. When I look in the mirror, I hate the face that stares back, because I don't recognize it as me. My brain's in the pilot seat and it's controlling a meat robot, and the bot's giving me dysphoria. Boy, where you going? You want to bloom too. Shut up, man. I'm stewing in my own misery. Can't you feel it? We were meant to be. Just as a mother was meant to care for her child, so too I care for you. Bad choice of my words. My mom hated me. Oh, Slyce, you stepped on a landmine. Then let me fill the void left in her shoes. Even if for a moment. You don't have to be alone. Even if you wish for misery, we can be unhappy together. No, misery loves company. I don't want to be miserable. I don't even care if I'm alone. All I want is to be happy, one way or another. +1 VA. I try. Let's see. We got the content warnings. We got vomiting. Demian gets sick again. Blood. Mild visual depiction of it in an illustration. And a tooth lying in the pool of blood. Oh no. Let's see. Body horror and gore. Demian vomits out one of their teeth before Slyce rebuilds it. The detached tooth is depicted in illustration only briefly though. Okay. The timer had already gone off, but I want to see this before saving. They close their eyes. If Demian didn't know any better, they would say they feel another presence in the room with them. Pushing past all the mold in the concrete jungle, Demian falls into the embrace they should have had as a child. Though they know in their heart it's only temporary at best, the warmth is something they'll cling on to the memory of for years. The rat with the scar skitters past them. Demian curses and throws the bottle of bleach at it. It misses by a long shot. The bottle rolls to the wall's edge. They sigh and stand up. The magic was broken, and they still had a good 4 hours left on the clock. The sun was finally setting, at least. Natural light starting to hurt their eyes lately. Demian hopes it's just a side effect of the night shifts. Okay, so we passed the autosave, so we'll do a shavy shave. We'll do it here.